Welcome to the Divine Masculine reading for the week at the Oracle of the Feather Crown Tree. Please see some directions below in the description box if you want to partake in the free opportunity for a card reading. And also look below if you want to skip ahead to the intuitive portion of this reading, as I do start with the author's descriptions in the books as I move through. I will explain the positions as we go through for anyone that's unfamiliar. The purpose of this reading is to really bring our masculine and feminine energies, if we listen to both, into harmony this week. We can also look at it as a partnership reading. So it is the closest thing I offer right now to a love reading. And I also really see it as a way of unifying with the divine consciousness that's out there. So really being able to merge ultimately with that reality. So we're going to start here on the bottom row on the left, and this entire row deals with our subconscious, but this particular position is about what has really programmed us from our ancestry. And we have Spirit of Truth for you. In a primitive world of fundamental instincts and elemental risks, there was little room for subterfuge. To survive was to live by timeless truths of body and spirit. In today's world, truth is one of the benchmarks by which we judge ourselves, and is a necessary ingredient in the evolution of civilized values. The Spirit of Truth ennobles us in an aura of integrity. As we walk our chosen path, it helps us to measure our progress accurately, usefully punctures our self-delusions, and gives us a truer understanding of anyone en route who may offer us false security or seductive rewards. The next card over is from the Sibyl's Oraculum, and this card is about what is in our immediate environment that is affecting us in our subconscious. And we have initiative. The seahorse represents slow but steady movement. Seahorses have great difficulty navigating the depths of the ocean, but they remain upright and they give it all they got. Prepare your mind to move, no matter how small the first step must be. Step. Do not stand still for any reason. Our next card is about what is in the shadow, but needs to be in the shadow, as it is the counterpart to the light. And it doesn't have to be scary. It's just something that maybe we keep hidden. And you have devotion, the royal lily. Your commitment to something will result in achievement and reward. Completion is within reach and happiness is indicated. So there could be a cause for celebration. Acknowledgement is forthcoming for the part of you may have undertaken in a community endeavor or in a relationship. This acknowledgement should lead to fulfillment of plans and dreams. Some will find their perfect match, soulmate, or a friend, which makes life seem very rewarding and much fuller. A promise will be honored, and this will bring about a change in current circumstances. Cycles are coming to their end, and new ones are ready to begin. Dreams are becoming much more attainable, as are all present energies. Challenges are broken promises and people not having an understanding of another's focus and source of happiness. And your last card in this row represents the repressed emotion. From the Water Crystal Oracle deck, which is a Japanese author deck, in the healing section of this deck, you have the message, peace of mind. This message comes with a dual message, and peace of mind is in opposition to fear of losing self-control. It's a night and day type of pairing. We're going to move up to one of the higher rows here and look at very divine energies coming from angelic or god and goddesses. And from the Angel Oracle deck, you have the Angel of Children. Its gifts for the earth is it can help you to protect the child within who longs to feel safe and loved. Look after all new beginnings in your life. Honor what is young and fresh in your life. This beautiful angel guards and protects all that is new and young in life, especially newborn babies. It watches over anything that is beginning to grow and that needs extra nourishment, gentleness, and care. And to accompany this from the Buddha Wisdom Shakti Power deck, you have Padma Dakini, the Red Buddha family of the West. Along with being associated with the energy of direction, each Buddha has a family of enlightened beings, including Dakinis, that have similar attributes. Padma Dakini is an enlightened wisdom Dakini. She is associated with Amitabha, the Buddha family of the West. The color red, the fire element, sunset, the gift of discrimination, the hand mudra of meditation, the poison of greed, and the emblem of the lotus. She's also associated with the magical function of attraction and fascination, the throat chakra, and the fourth day in the bardo. She helps manifest the awakening of enlightened awareness in the mind stream of practitioners, revealing dormant spiritual impulses. She can also grant worldly cities supernatural powers. So those were your higher energies that you can access this week. Now, if we merge the subconscious with those higher energies, we're going to come to this next row, which is really about how all this plays out in more of our 3D reality. So in our energetic field, our card for that is Kurma, the tortoise avatar. Its blessings are diplomacy, ability to provide support, steadiness and dependability, skills to manage contradictory forces. Our card for your psyche this week from the Archetypes deck is the Mountain. The mountain stands eternally in our awareness, calling us toward its peak. It stirs up stoic and regal feelings, reminding us of the long line of spirits, sages, sadhus, and gods that made their humble thrones within its snowy peaks. Beware, though, as the mountain can affect us in two ways. It can inspire and enliven us to rise to new heights and peak experience. Yet it can also create isolation, competitiveness, and an inflated sense of self. Standing upon its heights can activate the purist and the perfectionist in us, creating separation from those we deem to be below. No matter how high you ascend, remember that it is within the care of the mountain that the gems, minerals, and jewels reside. If you think it's all about going up, you're following the fool's path and missing the miner's magic. And your last card, dears, is going to be representing what action you can take this week. And from the Starseed Oracle, you have the Cosmic Heart, devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. When you surrender to a state of devotion, you find yourself flowing with all of life. You're being called to refocus your attention deep within, to the intelligence of your own heart, to bow with deep reverence to your inner temple, to live your life in devotion to this place, to make your life one big moving prayer. Perhaps you've felt a bit off kilter lately, sensing that the potency of why you're doing things has gotten a little watered down or weak. Perhaps you've forgotten what made you start doing them in the first place. If so, this is your call to take a moment and reconnect with the truth at the very center of your heart, to get back to the essence of what you're about, to devote your life to what you care most about, to turn your gaze deep, 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 deep. There are seasons for harvesting and seasons for sowing. Right now you're being called to plant your soul's seeds and sing them with deep devotion. Sing to them with deep devotion, to feed them with the sweet waters of your own soul, to lose yourself in the potency of what it is that most expands your heart, to live your life according to what makes you come alive, rather than what everyone else thinks, to make your life one big moving prayer. Okay, I'm going to look at the masculine energies now from an intuitive perspective, and I'll include the crowning card, which comes from the Kama Sutra deck as well. So I'm seeing that something about your ancestry could be maybe a false sense of building something that kind of is a facade, a mask for something else, or prevents the soul of something from shining through. There could have been an emphasis on just doing things because they're practical and not really caring about if they provide beauty, if they provide something nourishing that feeds the soul, that feeds the community's collective mind. In your environment, what you may not be aware of is something that wants to move forward but is having difficulty doing so. And it's something that seems beautiful, like it needs a chance. It should be, it feels enduring, and it should be gifted your attention. So perhaps it's kind of stuck in something emotional right now and not really free from that. And it could just be something surrounding your sense of purpose, your direction in life, that really needs to be given the chance to be free. There seems to be something very, let's say like a sexual energy even, that is in this realm, and it's okay there. It's providing like some mystery and a little bit of magic and some primal energy. It's very healthy and beautiful, and enjoys the lushness of being in something, being in like a feminine energy too. It's a very, very nice energy to see as part of this reading. Maybe we're finally able to get out a little bit more. Maybe people are able to connect a little bit more. Also, like with your emotions that are being repressed, I see sort of something splitting here. into 2. And so you may have something going on where there's an increase in clarity, an increase in and becoming more realized in knowing how to be present and wanting to grow sort of an emotional strength in you this week. You're definitely connecting with a mother's love, like that frequency of that is a very high frequency for you to understand from both perspectives, from the mother and from the child. So maybe take some time to consider both of those positions and how that affects your creativity and your sense of safety, your ability to give, and your overall sense of sort of well-being, how all that comes together and makes you feel vital and purposeful and in your power. There's also a sense of passion that you have that you can really tap into to motivate you, to bring movement into your life, to make you feel like you want to dance this week, that you want to enjoy life, that you want to be a sensual creature, but also enlightened, and understanding higher spiritual knowledge and how to kind of fuse, the almost this like polarity of instinct with wisdom. And again, I'm getting this feeling of like the ancient mother and being in that energy this week. So that is an energy that is, of course, very giving, but that energy cannot give unless it knows how to fill itself up. So it's very good at receiving too and doing both. And by doing that, it's a very high functioning energy in all aspects of life. It's very wise. It's a doer energy. It can get lots of things done, but it knows how to rest as well and to value the idea of rest in rapport with everything else that's going on. There are things going on perhaps in your mental space that feel a little bit burdensome, yet you know how to kind of stand apart from that, carve out a special place in that where you kind of remove yourself from feeling like you're navigating rocky terrain and something behemoth, and that you're just sort of lost in the nebulous of wonderment and other options of just going into darker spaces. Like you're really taking the time out and saying, I'm going to focus on what is inspiring me, what makes me feel, what I instinctually connect with, where can I start again here and not be overwhelmed by all of these thoughts and chaos even in this realm. And I think if you are able to do that, I see in your last card, or one of your last cards, the action of really being a magical creature through your connection in your mental space, having a healthier mental space, that instead it can be very busy in there, but it needs to be busy in a way that feels not like a burden, that feels electrifying and sparked, and there's a lot of movement and kind of excitement and wonder, but it's not heavy and foreboding and overdone. And by clearing this mental space, you'll be able to act more in accord with nature. You'll feel more you won't feel so out of alignment with your environment if you've been feeling like you're just kind of going through the motions and you've become an artificial being performing yourself. You're going to feel a little bit more renewed. And when I look at your crowning card, which is really about achieving union, I see that there's a coming together really at a base level between the male and female energies, really connecting there, understanding stability, understanding fundamental needs, and that's sort of the first step, and making sacrifices, even if it's uncomfortable, to make sure that both of these energies are functioning in a very stable manner. There is an acknowledgement of doing this together, of harmonizing these two energies in this way, of cooperation, I think is what I'm trying to get at there. And even if there is some discomfort from each party individually, collectively, when these two energies come together, there is still pleasure, there's still the ability to experience something that through a little bit of sacrifice wouldn't be achievable to experience at all on one's own at this level. So yeah, definitely a little bit of sacrifice and cooperation and giving, and choosing to support the energies as you go through that process together to come together for a common goal. And I'm going to end your reading right there. So thank you for being here. Please see my playlist if you want to check out any of the other themed readings I do throughout the weeks. And I hope that you'll join me again. It was a pleasure to do this for you. Take care.